What's good, YouTube? Guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, thank you for clicking on the video. Glad to have you back. And if you're new here, my name is Angel. You are welcome here. This is an open space for all of us to come. Please leave your comments in the comment section, right? This channel is all about self-development, self-improvement, becoming our best versions every single day. Jake Paul said an interesting thing. I'm so obsessed with improving myself that I hate the version of myself I was yesterday. That's powerful. Like that quote itself, whenever I hear it, I'm like, come on, let's keep pushing. So today's topic is alcohol. Yes, my very first video on this channel was about my alcohol cut, right? Or alcohol cleanse, removing alcohol. Initially, it was something that I did for 3 months, and I felt like 3 months wasn't enough, so I done it 1 year. 1 year felt so good, I had to do it again, right? So I'm currently standing on 2 years and 4 months of no alcohol. And to be honest with you, I feel great. I feel healthy. My body don't miss it. I necessarily don't miss it. I've made a full readjustment at this point. I have fully readjusted to living alcohol-free life. Whenever it's a social setting or whatever event or company, community I may end up at, I'm comfortable. Usually I just drink a bit of ginger beer, but it works really well with me, you know. And another thing I wanted to say is I forgot how the hangover feels like. That must feel so awful. The other day I had a visitor, well, not the other day, well, this was a few months ago, and he was hanging big time, right? It was a family member, and his energy was just diminished. And I'm thinking, wow, this is what hangover does. This is how I used to be, you know, going through those horrible hangovers. Doesn't feel nice. You know, life is already challenging as it is. So why would I put myself into a position to make life more challenging? But I know it's not as simple as it sounds, right? Alcohol is easily accessible. It's something that's seen by society as a norm, right? You can just pop down to a local corner shop and walk away with a ton of it, right? Very easy to get hold of, socially acceptable, and a lot of people have dependency on it, right? The other day I had a conversation with my neighbor, and we were just talking, and one of the things she said, oh, I just have a few glasses of wine after dinner, you know. And I'll ask her, oh, how often does this happen? And she was like, oh, well, every day. And I was like, wow, you drink wine every day after dinner? That's, I don't know, to me, I was surprised to hear that, you know. But I realized it's a norm with a few people. And the way she said it, oh, it's not a dependency, it's just something that I do to sort of let loose a little bit after the day. I don't drink into obscurity, like I don't get drunk, like it gives me a little bit of a tipsy vibe. I feel happy and helps me unwind. And you know, fair enough. And recently I was talking to another person who I know is addicted to cannabis, and we were just talking, and I was trying to sort of put things into perspective. Look, you smoke heavily, right? You wake and bake, all of that. And I gave him an example, you know, of my neighbor who has a few glasses of wine daily. And one of the first things that he said was like, oh, she's an alcoholic. I was like, wait, hang on a second. So she's an alcoholic, but you smoke more than she drinks, right? You wake and bake, you smoke throughout the day, every day, yeah, and you don't think you have a dependency, or I don't know how you call it, you're full-time stoner as well, right? So you just as bad. If anything, you worse, right? Because at least the lady, you know, my neighbor, she has her alcohol, you know, after a long day of working and doing what needed to be done. You have your weed, the second you wake up, you open your eyes, you're sparking it up, you're smoking. So hang on a second. So just putting things into perspective was interesting. He admitted, in the end, he admitted that he was wrong and that he does have a dependency, and you know, he would like my help moving forward, because I know what it's like to have a cannabis dependency myself. So no stranger to these things. And looking in reflection, looking at my journey, I think cutting off alcohol was like the easiest thing to do. If you look at things like, you know, retention, celibacy, etc., etc., those things are way more challenging. But one thing that I did pick up on is that I'm talking to people more about alcohol rather than, you know, the other topics, because I think most people come into contact with alcohol on a regular basis, and some of you are trying to cut down and some of you don't. And well, a few of you that I'm currently speaking to are trying to cut it down. So one thing is, you can do it, right? Just remove unhealthy habit with a healthy one, right? You need to replace it with something. Removal, going cold turkey, doesn't work for everyone, but you need to keep yourself busy, keep your mind occupied with positive things, with productive things, constructive things, so you no longer feel the need to fill that hole, because that's what it is. And some of you who can't socialize with the alcohol, that's a problem. You know, realistically, you need, you know, a few sips of something just to feel comfortable, to feel confident, to feel at loose. And, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't need an external substance to be complete. God made me as I am. I am already complete in his image. So why would I need some substance to feel some type of way? These are the things I tell myself if, let's say, I'm finding things challenging, whether that's celibacy or, you know, retention or fasting or other things that I try to throw in every now and then. Alcohol, I haven't been tempted to drink alcohol. That's been easy for me to remove. I guess my first year, that was like the most challenging year, when it was like a new thing to me. You know, I'm going out and I'm no longer drinking. And I know, well, there's been a few times where I drank into like obscurity, but most of the time I would go, I just, you know, get drunk on pints and then still get a massive hangover next day. And it just doesn't feel nice, you know, and you lose control of yourself a little bit. I definitely do, you know, I definitely get a little bit loose, and then I don't have a recollection of events, what happened, and that's how I knew it was a problem. So I don't like depending on external substance to make me feel some type of way. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you have alcohol problem, you know, you can do it. You can minimize it. At least you don't have to like remove it completely, but at least drink consciously. That's what I call when you're taking a substance with a conscious. You know you're doing it, but it's not taking you to those places where you're completely drunk, you're throwing up, your body hates it, etc., etc., because that's, you know, that's not a nice place for anyone to be. Plus for your body to digest all of that, that's a lot of work, you know, digesting alcohol. And then, you know, for the next few days you feel like a wipeout. In my opinion, it's not worth it, you know. So shout me if you need encouragement, support. It's a community here, so I'm like you guys, struggling with certain things and sharing it with you, sharing my own experience. But if I can make it to, you know, 2 years and 4 months, I'm sure you can give it 3 months break, right? I think 90 days, it's a perfect period for you to sort of change your ways and then not resolve to alcohol whenever you get an opportunity. All right? Thank you for making it to the end. If you have, you're a true one. Guys, please subscribe, support the channel. Want to be consistent with this channel this year, right? That's one of my goals. I want to smash it. I want to share my journey. Exciting content coming out. Please stay tuned. Support the channel. Like it, share it, comment, engage with me. You can message me on Instagram if you got any questions. Let's do this together. All right, guys? Thank you for being here, and I see you in the next one.